Isn't it just unfair that heroes and villains get all the action and spotlight? NPCs deserve to lead their own stories too. A mishmash of Pixels, the Lego Movie, and the GTA video games. This is Jace with Popcorn Recap, and today we will be recapping Free Guy. Guy is a typical resident of Free City, living a typical life. He lives in a video game, and is just an NPC. A happy-go-lucky bank teller with smiles to spare for everybody. Guy only wishes he has a special someone to share happy moments with. While his best friend Buddy the police officer comforts him, he doesn't beat around the bush. Buddy reminds Guy that his ideal woman does not exist. The two plan out the rest of their day while they lay down on the floor and wait for the bank heist to end. The scene then transitions to a masked man standing in an alleyway. A woman in sunglasses and leather pants comes down from a rope. They exchange transactions of cash for a video clip the woman is secretive about. She refuses to answer any questions from the masked man and shoots him dead as he persists to inquire about the video clip's content. The woman proceeds to walk out the street, imitating word per word the expressions of people she passes by. She coincidentally passes by Buddy and Guy too. Guy's attention flies off from his best friend to the music playing inside the woman's head. While the woman repeats Guy's favorite words, Guy blurts out he likes the song the woman is listening to, startling the woman. Guy proclaims he has found his ideal woman, but Buddy stops him from following after her. He reminds Guy that people with sunglasses, heroes of Free City, do not interact with regular civilians like them. Nonetheless, Guy crosses the street to follow after the lady, not paying an ounce of attention to their chaotic surroundings. When Guy finally gets close to her, a train hits and flattens Guy. And then the game ends. Free City is a video game obsessed over by millions of people all over the world. It features an open world called Free City, where players can earn points and level up through either helping out or beating the crap out of the NPCs. And we were just watching the gameplay of a blonde woman we would later know to be Millie Rusk. Millie intends to file a lawsuit against Free City's publisher. The coffee shop almost closes on her as Millie was engrossed in finding evidence for the lawsuit within the game. Ever since crossing paths with the woman in sunglasses and leather pants, Guy dares to make new choices. At the coffee shop, he orders a cappuccino, marveling at how new and exciting to say something other than medium coffee with cream and 2 sugar. The entire coffee shop is flustered, so Guy quickly reverts to his regular order, and everybody is back to their pleased selves. At work, the same routine as days before roll out. Guy performs bank teller duties, a robber breaks through the bank, and everyone lies down on their stomachs. But today, Guy aims to do more. Stepping out of his comfort zone, Guy approaches the villain. He insists he only wants to borrow the villain's sunglasses, but he also accidentally lands his first kill. Sunglasses are exclusively used by players at Free City. With the sunglasses, Guy sees a whole new world filled with bright and shiny icons for new missions, his player stats, inventory, and medical kits. Guy even gets some cash credits from a random player that got smoked. Guy could finally afford the brand new shoes he has been eyeing for a while now and wears them giddily. Back in the real world, word about an NPC killing of a player spreads around the headquarters of Tsunami, Free City's publisher. Programmers Keys and Mouser try to take care of Guy, thinking he is an avatar of a hacker. Keys worry that they might have to report this case to Antoine, their boss. Mouser warns him not to. Antoine has his nose stuck in preparing for the game's sequel launch, and he most likely would not care or blame them for letting a hacker get through Free City's servers. While Keys reflect on his current job position and failed dreams, the scene transitions to a rerun of an interview of Walter Keys McKee and Millie Rusk, the creators of a then up-and-coming video game called Life Itself. The younger Keys and Millie excitedly share about the unique gameplay experience of their creation. Life Itself was next in line for getting published by Tsunami, but things did not turn out well for the two programmers. Antoine bought the game but then shelved it. Instead, he released a dirt copy of Life Itself, which is Free Life. Millie, who broke into Keys' apartment, pleads with Keys to help her prove that Antoine stole from them. Life Itself was built around an ambitious AI engine that Millie designed, allowing every character in the game to interact and evolve with one another, regardless of them being NPC. Millie wants to demand the royalties for the code they painstakingly wrote. Keys understands his ex-partner, but he refuses, afraid of violating his NDA and getting fired. And so, Millie flies solo in her mission to retrieve a game clip that contains their original codes. In-game, Millie's character is the same woman that made Guy want to change. While staking outside the stash house suspected to hold the clip, Guy shows up out of nowhere, busting Millie's mission. They teleport just in time to Millie's hideout, a room full of motorcycles and weapons. Millie's character also reveals her player name is Molotov Girl, and she is at level 195 already, compared to Guy ranking at level 1. Molotov suggests that Guy better be robbing banks or shooting people to level up. Guy meekly disagrees, and capable of hurting even a fly. But this is Free City after all. Characters can just do almost anything to earn points. Guy levels up, breaking up fights, stealing weapons, and taking off with other characters' loot. He does this all while helping out innocent civilians caught in crossfires. Guy instantly becomes an online sensation, known by fans and players worldwide as Blue Shirt Guy. Blue Shirt Guy even snatches morning news headlines because of how he built a reputation in a rather Grand Theft Auto hero. And if you do follow gamers and their content, you are about to be pleasantly surprised, as the movie also got to work with well-known streamers like Dan TDM and Jacksepticeye. Meanwhile, Keys finally caves in and assists Millie in locating the game clip in the stash house. Millie finally gets a hold of it, but alarms ring off and spawn points in the form of armed bodyguards and assassins shortly end Millie's success at retrieving the clip. Is it fate or is it God? Who knows? But Guy breaks through the stash house right on cue, riding a Henley. They make their escape and fly off with the help of a jet paraglide. In the Tsunami headquarters, Antoine perceives Guy as a cash cow, not even suspecting about Guy's character status. Keys informs his boss that the game is experiencing a lot of bugs and lag. Perhaps they could put aside thoughts for Free City 2 for a while. Antoine airily says he couldn't care about what's happening in Free City. Free City 2 will push through with a whole new cast of characters and missions. Guy took Molotov Girl's suggestion to level up well. He brings Molotov to a hangar, showing off his collection of vehicles and weapons he collected along the way. Molotov suspects Guy is an insider from Tsunami, much to Guy's confusion. Molotov eventually drops the topic. The ever-innocent Guy invites her to get bubblegum ice cream and hang out at the swings in the harbor park. And Guy finally blurts out that he wants to kiss Molotov. Molotov is taken aback by Guy's straightforwardness, but lets Guy kiss her. All the while, Keys scrolls through the database of non-playable characters of Free City. He finds Guy's profile and is in for the shock of his life. He hurries off to Millie's apartment to tell her the news that their code does work, and Guy is the algorithm and living proof of it. Millie, on the other hand, is dumbfounded that the character she just kissed in-game is an NPC. Millie reveals to Guy that Free City is just a video game, and Guy is a mere background character for real players to poke fun at and earn points. As you can predict, Guy feels betrayed and lied to. But he comforts him, explaining how it doesn't matter if things, themselves included, were not real. The moments they're living in are more than real enough. With the help of Buddy, Guy retrieves the game clip Millie has been searching for ever since. The two best friends break in through the stash house. Revengeman Buttons, the owner of the place, shows up, and boy is he one huge fan of Guy. He even hands them out the clip they have been aiming for. Millie is pleasantly surprised by Guy's efforts to retrieve the clip. She shows the NPC the content of the clip, which is the original build of life itself. Guy recognizes the place. However, Millie's character stopped responding, and data from the clip is lost. Turns out Antoine ordered Mouser to reboot the servers of Free City. Blue Shirt Guy's popularity on social media is negatively affecting the launch of Free City 2, and Antoine is strongly displeased. When Free City is finally back online, Guy has reverted to his regular programming. He has no clue of who Millie is and what he was up to for the past few days. Desperate, Millie stages a bank heist and holds Guy hostage. Guy insists that she has the wrong, guy, but when Millie kissed him, Guy remembers everything. He even remembers where he caught glimpses of life itself, from the reflections on his window blinds. Millie is more than elated. Antoine did not get to eliminate the original build's reflections. Together, Millie and Guy make a plan to preserve Free City before it gets replaced by Free City 2. Guy leads all other NPCs to a massive strike. Players eventually have no one to pick on or help out to complete their missions. Antoine soon catches on to Millie participating in the game. Antoine strongly antagonizes Millie's lawsuit threats, and so he demands Mouser to kill off Millie's character while he calls for guards to locate Keys, who was not in the office as chaos ensues. While Mouser manipulates the game's environment to crush down buildings and fling cars in Millie and Guy's direction, Keys counters. He assists Millie and Guy as they speed their way down to Hitman Beach. As seconds tick by, Antoine gets more agitated. Finally, Keys is brought up to his office. They get into a heated discussion about the stolen codes and robbed profits. Keys does not back down from Antoine's haughty claims about money. He sets out a command and a bridge materializes in Hitman Beach to help Millie and Guy get to the game's collision mesh. Antoine fires Keys, but Keys does not give a damn anymore. He secretly streams Guy's mission to get across the beach. To finally finish off Guy, Antoine orders the art department to upload an incomplete character called Dude. Mouser, on the other hand, is in the process of scrubbing off players from the game. Millie disappears and Guy is left alone to finish their mission. But Dude does not let up so easily. A buffed up version of Guy who could not complete sentences appears to put a stop at Guy's mission and his very existence. Buddy shows up to assist Guy, but he gets easily thrown off to the side by Dude. Miraculously, Guy finds a pair of glasses and arms himself with Captain America's shield and the Incredible Hulk's arm to counter Dude's death blow. Guy also pulls out a lightsaber, but it is still not enough to incapacitate Dude. Dude pins Guy down, and in a desperate attempt to distract the big guy, Guy forces on him the sunglasses. Dude is taken aback by all the shiny things he sees. Guy is finally free. He and Buddy finally make their way across the bridge. But of course, Antoine wants more screen time, right? He just doesn't know when to quit. He axes down Free City servers. Mouser finally figures out that Antoine is reacting this wildly because he did steal Millie and Keys' work. Antoine does not pay him any attention anymore. He proceeds to break down Free City. Free City is indeed crumbling. NPCs run for their lives as their surroundings disintegrate. Buddy disintegrates too, who insists Guy keep pushing forward. Guy refuses to let anyone down, and he successfully breaks his way through the collision mesh, landing on the island paradise of life itself. And in the real world, Millie shows up in the server room to strike a deal with the livid Antoine. While she would gain no money or fame, Millie gets back the remnants of Free City and the core of life itself with the last remaining server. Things finally begin looking up for Millie, Keys, and Mouser. They are working together on life itself, where all the NPCs from Free City are present too, free to do whatever they want. Meanwhile, Antoine and the rest of Tsunami face charges because of the running failure that is Free City 2. The movie concludes with Guy telling Millie that he is merely a love letter written by a coder from Millie's world. Guy also gets back his best friend Buddy. Finally, Keys and Millie have their feelings known for each other, ending the movie with their kiss in the middle of an otherwise busy street. Until next time. Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.